afternoon, good morning, good evening, wherever you're watching from. You're joining us on Crafters TV for a very exciting craft along. So for the next hour, we're going to be crafting along, or you're going to be crafting along to something that is spectacular, because it is a beautiful, beautiful project that our Sheila's got in store for you, and you're going to absolutely love it. So I've mentioned the lady herself. She's going to be doing the craft along. Shall we just get straight in and find out exactly what we're going to be making, or what Sheila's going to be making for this next hour? Sheila, this collection is beautiful. What have you got for us?
Oh, it is so beautiful, and this is the first opportunity I had to actually play with it. I've not done it on a show or anything, so I was asked to do craft along using Sara's A Christmas Dream collection, which, as we, you know, if you've seen it or if you've even got it, it's beautiful. But I thought we'd make like a little it's not a theatre box as such, but it's just a little box. If I turn it round, you'll be able to see. I'm going to show you how to make the actual panels of the box. So there's no dye needed. We've not got any dyes in this, and using some of the papers and some of those little elements from that beautiful 8x8 pad. We're going to go through the shopping list with you anyway, but we've got some sparkles in the bottom there as well, so it's a little bit wintry as well, so just something fun. So let's tell you what you will need, because if you're joining in with us, it's funny, isn't it, when you come on the screen in a picture of yourself.
When I did one the other day, it was really funny because I looked really white in mine, and then it went from me to my picture, which was really brown.
yeah, I think I had about 4 inches cut off my hair as well last week, 3 or 4 inches, so it's much tidier now. Yeah. I went to my niece and said chop some off, she's a hairdresser. So anyway, for the craft along, if you've got any of the Sara's Christmas Dream collection, you will need your 12x12 paper pad. It's not the end of the world if you haven't got that, because we can do some clever joins and things, but I've used the 12x12 pad, the 6x6 paper pad, also the 8x8 topper pad, the iridescent chunky glitter, and also some of the pretty glitter glue. And then the extra items I've used from my stash here at Crafters Companion, I've used some of our white A4 cardstock, some acetate, I've used the guillotine and the ScoreBoard and the scissors. They're quite necessary. And then the Pkey Tool, your red tape, if you've got 3mm tape, and I should have put on there as well, probably 12mm tape, but if you've got, as long as you've got some strong tape, you'll be fine. The 3D glue gel, some tacky glue, and the tape pen. But as long as you've got some adhesive, you will be fine. You'll be fine.
Amazing.
Yes.
That's absolutely great. Right, we're going to let Sheila get herself sorted. We're going to get you to get all your pieces together for you, and we're going to check who's in with us for this craft along. Lois is in saying good morning, everyone from Ohio, Lois. Sandra's in, looking forward to this. She's saying her feet are up, her dogs are by her side, and her coffee is brewing. What more could you want? I love that, Sandra. Cynthia's in saying afternoon, everyone. Alison's saying hi, Debbie, Sheila, and the CTV crew. We've got Johnny and George in my ear today, so they're saying hello and hello. Stephen is in saying hi, Debbie and Sheila. Hi, Stephen. Cookie 53 is saying good morning, everyone, from Illinois. Illinois is where our new warehouse is going to, so Cookie 53, you're going to be close to there. I can't say you pick them up at the door, but you're going to be right near. Tina Nichols is in, so good afternoon. I'm looking forward to this craft along. I already have the ideas too. Pat is in saying good day, Debbie, Sheila, and everyone from New Jersey, another place where a warehouse is going to be. Rhonda is saying good morning, everyone. Making vitamins. Oh, I like that. Making vitamins. Tell us more. Sandra's in saying, I've been playing with my beautiful kit. Love that, Sandra. Right, without further ado, we are going to get over to Sheila, and we're going to start, she's going to start making this amazing sort of box frame extravaganza.
Thank you, Debbie. Thank you. So we're going to start off first. We need to make the frame first. So if you've got some A4 cardstock, these are the sizes you'll need. Now, what I have done as well, when I'm working things out, I always do a little list, and very often I do a diagram as well. So I've done it in pencil, So obviously you might be able to see it. I will run through the sizes anyway, and as we're scoring, I will tell you, because we need to make 4 little panels the same, which will then all connect together to make the outer frame. If you want to repeat this with 12 by 12 cardstock, 4 by 4 cardstock, you can, as long as you make 4 panels exactly the same. You might need to change the length or the width of where you score, but you can do this to create a frame of any size. So I just wanted to tell you that, just in case you're thinking you want to do it in, you know, maybe a 12 by 12 or something like that. So you're going to need 4 pieces. So what I've got, 4 pieces of card that measure 7 inches in length and 4.5 down the shorter side. So 7 by 4.5, and you need 4 pieces at that length. And then what you need to do is, once you've got those pieces and you do them all the same, so you're going to score at 1. So put it on the scoreboard, score 1 inch, 2 inches. It's pretty self-explanatory really. Once you've done 1, it's working out the measurements first that is the trickiest bit, I think. And then at 4, so 1, 2, 3, 4, that gives you 1, 2, 3, 4 1-inch strips, and then a 1/2 inch strip there. Now what you need to do now is you need to turn it, so it doesn't really matter which way you turn it. If I bring in my little panels here, you'll see how I've done this. So what I'm going to do is turn it that way, and then with a pencil and a ruler. So the first time I did it, I scored it, because I'm a bit score obsessive, you know, I love scoring things. And I thought, no, we don't need to score this because we need to do some cuts. If we score, it will show through the frame when we put the frame together. So if you line up your ruler with the 1 on your scoreboard, 1 inch, and what we're going to do is we're just going to do a little pencil line along there. Just a faint pencil line. And remember, if you do it in pencil, you can rub it off after. Because then what we need to do some cuts. So if I turn it back round again now to the way it was, we need to cut along here and then into a triangle, and then we leave this one back down to a triangle and off there. So if I bring in my original pieces, this is what we're going to create. And that then makes the like sides that we join together. So as long as you've got a little cut here where we've done the 1/2 inch, and then you're going to go up. Oh, I'm just doing it with my scissors. So first thing to do is to cut along that little bit there. So cut along there, and then what I do, I like to come down from this corner to where I've just cut. That's, if you want to draw pencil lines, you can. I just like to see where I'm, you know, look where I'm going, aim my scissors and just cut like that. So that chops that bit off. The next one, you leave whole. The next one, you cut the opposite way to this one. So again, you can go down to that corner there where your pencil marks join, and then snip that one off, like that. And there you've got now your little panels like the original ones I've got here. And so you need 4 of those. Obviously we've scored that now, so we can fold those. So I'll pop that to one side, so I don't need that. I've got 4 already done here. So I knew there'd be something I didn't get out of my bag, and that was my little bone folder, so I'll just grab that now. So what you can do, you can rub your pencil marks off. You don't need them now. That's fine, you can rub those off. So what we're going to do now is we just like fold with the bone folder across all of those score lines, like that. I'm going to turn that around the other way, just because I'm right-handed, I like to do it that way. And then we do the same with each of the others. So you can imagine if you wanted to make this to be 12 by 12, like a 12 by 12 frame, obviously if you used 12 by 12 cardstock, that would work. But because this makes, I'm going to bring in the frame actually, just to explain this. If I bring in the frame here, this gives us, so the frame is going to be, oh, this is an odd sized ruler, isn't it? There's no inches on here, what's going on? I was like, oh my goodness, I need some inches, because I've just told everyone the size is in inches. So of course this is going to measure 7 inches across, but the gap in the middle is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6.
Yeah.
So obviously, if you were going to do a bigger frame, you would have to work out how much bigger you need it to be. So I've got a 6-inch opening, but obviously that can't be right, can it? Yeah, it can. It's 5 inches. It's 5 inches, isn't it? Yeah, sorry, I've gone from this end. 5 inches, and then you've got your extra inch here. Right, yeah, yes. Sorry, I'm awful at maths. I can do it if I've got, like, you know, I've got it going on in here, but when it comes to actually explaining it, I'm a bit rubbish.
Yeah, I'm exactly the same. Was never very good at maths.
I'm rubbish at maths. I'm good at spelling. I can spell. I'm really particular about spelling and punctuation and grammar and stuff. But yeah,
you know what? I used to be really good at spelling, and then I hit my menopause, and that's it. I can't spell.
Really?
Yeah. Yeah, it's so weird. I can still spell a lot, but then sometimes as soon as I think about it, I then can't spell it right.
Yeah, it's weird, isn't it, what it does to you? I think it kind of puts you back into being almost like a child, in a way.
Like a baby.
Yeah, like a baby, like a gurgling baby. Yeah. Oh gosh, yeah, it does have some strange effects, but hey. So now we've got all those folded now. So you see we've got the 4 here. So what we do now is we fold that in like that, and we need to tape that. So I'm going to put some red liner tape on there. You do that with all 4 of them. So whatever you do with one of them, you do it with the other 3. So all 4 will be identical then. So I'm using 12mm tape, will just fit on there really, really nicely. So if you've got any of our 12mm tape, that will just fit really nicely on that little half-inch strip.
And is this the best adhesive to use, do you think, for these?
Yeah, I mean, I have used Tacky Glue before, Debbie, but the thing is with Tacky Glue, and I love Tacky Glue, I always use it for everything, but the thing is with Tacky Glue is you can't get it on smooth like you can with the tape.
Yeah.
So, and sometimes you might go a bit thinner with the glue at this end and a bit thicker at this end, and depending on the weight of your card, it can actually just
and takes a little bit longer to dry as well, doesn't it?
Yeah. So I found when I did my original one with Tacky Glue, I actually have some little pegs. So what I did was when I'd done that big bit there with Tacky Glue, I just pegged the end for a few minutes just while it bonded. But what you can do as well, if you've got if you're doing a longer one, you can always like tuck your pencil down if you've glued it and just do that, or get a dowel or something just to press against where you've glued, and then that will hold. So we'll put some tape on these others, and then I'll show you how this will go together, because it's not as difficult as you think. And you know, once I started doing this, I've made calendars, I've made all kinds of things with these frames, because you can just do them to suit, you know, your photograph, your project. Just takes a little bit of working out, but it's nothing too difficult. So I'll pop that one onto there and that one onto there like that. And then we'll do the other 2, and I'm going to show you how to put them together. Now I will use Tacky Glue for the next bit, because I find that tape grabs it, and if too quick, and if you get it in the wrong place, it's not quite lined up, the red tape has already grabbed it, and then it's too kind of late then to rescue it. So it's not the end of the world, but sometimes it's good to use Tacky Glue on the next bit, because you need a little bit of flexibility. So there we go. So we've got 3 there, and then we've got our 4th one here. It'd be nice to see if any of you are actually doing this at the same time. I'm hoping you will be. But if you're not, why not? No, but if you're not, and you're recording it, or you want to come back to it after.
Stephanie is asking what paper you are using.
Okay, so this is just our white A4 cardstock. Now, I think this is 300 GSM, isn't it, Debbie?
Yes, it is, yes.
Yeah, well, white cardstock, we use it for everything, don't we? Construction,
absolutely.
Stamping, all kinds of things, yeah. Yeah, if we need a scrap piece, we've got little pieces of it in the box down here. But yeah, 300 GSM is usually quite good. And it's just like not coated, so it's, you know, uncoated, should I say. So it's really nice to use. So what we need to do now is we need to set it out so you can see how it fits together. And basically what we do, we have each corner bit slots into a straight bit. So basically it goes like that.
That is so clever.
Isn't it neat? But it's just really simple, isn't it?
Yeah.
And that goes in there. I'll push that in like that.
Oh, wow.
And then this one goes into here. Now your first one, I mean the first one I did, I glued it all together, I was so proud of it, and then when I held it up it had gone a bit skew with.
Right.
It just gone a little bit kind of, you know, a bit off. But however, it's a bit like a house. If you build a house until you get the roof on, or like a car, if you sawed the roof off a car, it would collapse. So you kind of need, once you get the backing on, that's what gives it that stability then. So what I've found the best way to do this is to look at the way your corner is. So how your corner goes like that. Okay, and then what I want to do, I want to separate them, and I want to do a triangle of tacky glue there. So just pull that little end of the dry glue off there, because I was using it yesterday. Okay, so what I'm going to do is do a little line of glue here like this, and I'm not going to come down any further than like an inch. I don't want to have glue like pouring out underneath. But make sure you put your glue on there, and then you're going to do the same on the other side as well. So exactly the same on this side, but this time the triangle will come down this way. And I've tried this with tape. I found that tacky glue is better.
Don't get a lot of wiggle room with tape, do you?
No, you don't get much wiggle room with like tape, especially if you're using the strong red tape. So the best thing to do is that, like that. So push it together, and then what we'll do, like that. Okay, so we're just going to leave that for a minute because that will bond, and we'll do these two together. So again, look at the way your triangle is. So when we put that on there, we know that the triangle needs to be like that, the triangle of glue. And what I will say as well, which I should have pointed out at the beginning, and I'll show you in a second before I actually glue this. Turn that round, do it the opposite way. If you've done them all the same way, like I did with the scoring, you'll find that when you join them together, all your seams should be at the back. And that's what you want. You want to have all your seams at the back.
Okay, that makes sense.
So that it's a little bit neater. And it's not too unsightly, but if I bring this in now like that, you can see this is where the seams are, and I want that to be at the back. And it's the same here, they're at the back now. So if you do all your frames exactly the same, that will work, and your seam will be at the back. So you can see now how that goes together. So we'll just do these two little panels here now. So again, look at the shape of the triangle and just do that. That's the only way I can think of describing the best way to do that, is just to, like, you know, imitate what you're seeing here, and then the opposite way on this side, and then we can pop that into there. Now again, as I said before, if you've got a dowel or a little wooden stick or something, you can put it down there and give a little press if you feel like this needs to you know, have a bit of force against it, just so it'll grab the glue. But it does actually, the tacky glue, our tacky glue just grabs it nicely. And then this is your most tricky bit, because obviously these are drying now, but you've not got glue on here. So you need to be a little bit quicker with this one. And if all else fails, or you find by the time you've done it and put it together, it still feels a little bit rocky, you can actually put a piece of ribbon around the outer edge at the end.
Oh, okay.
Or even if you've got some like washi tape, you can use washi tape. So I've used, to secure it like this, I've actually used masking tape before.
Yeah.
You know, so I've put a bit of masking tape on. Obviously, I'm doing it live on here now, so it might just move a little bit, but we'll just give it a second.
Looking good.
It's not too bad. It's not perfect, but I'm not worried about it. There we go. Okay. So for your first attempt, you should end up with something like that. And, you know, I'm sure you'll be happy with that once you've done it. If you're going to cover it with paper, you can do that. If you're going to paint it, you can do that. You might want to put, you know, some of your air dry clayed air-dried clay, air-dry clay, can't say it, air-dry clay. Yeah, some of your clay that has been dried in the air. You might want to do some like swirls or something like that on there and stick it on there. But that just basically gives you the frame, which is quite easy to do. Now, you need to put the back on before we can progress with what goes inside. Now, there's a couple of ways of doing this, because what I did was, ideally, I wanted to have my piece of 6x6 paper on here. So, but I didn't do that, so I'm just giving you another idea. Now, what I've done is taken this one. If you want the pattern side, you can have, but I'm going to use this one because I'm adding to it.
Just very quickly, Sheila, while you've got your papers out, because there has been a question. Jessica is saying that the 6x6 pad didn't come with her bundle from HSM for the Christmas dream.
Oh.
She said, can she use the 12x12? But I think you might have used the 12x12, haven't you?
I've used the 12x12 for the edges that I'm going to put on the front,
Right.
because this was 7 inches and obviously this pad is only 6, but it is exactly the same. So all you need to do, I've got my 12x12 here, so let's bring this in and then you can see that, because this, I'm guessing this is the one that she's got.
Yes.
She's got the 12x12. If they're exactly the same, but because I'm using the back side of it, because I don't need all this on there, you're going to be able to still use, let me find the one I've used and then I can show you. So it's the one, so it's this one. I'll turn it round. So on this one that I'm doing now, I'm using this paper that's got the music on.
Okay.
Obviously, if I bring in this one, you'll see the difference in scale. But there are some that have got, which one is it? Oh, let me grab it. It's under here, isn't it? So it's that one. So this is the smaller scale one. Okay. But there are some patterns that don't have any sheets that don't have any pattern on. Like, for instance, you could use this one because it's just got snowflakes.
Oh, right.
Or you could use this one. So this is the one. I think this is the one I used in the original one.
Oh, okay.
So in the original one, basically it's just a bit scaled down.
So you can use your 12x12.
So you can still use that. I mean, you might want to even think, you might look at your papers and think, you know what, I actually want to keep this ballerina. So if we turn this round, just to give you an idea, you might want to keep that ballerina there. You might want to put her in your frame, in which case
that's a good
she
idea.
will fit perfectly in there. But if you've got the 6x6, then she's not going to look quite as good in there.
Right.
So you've got that option with the 12x12.
Oh, I love that.
You know, so you've got two ways of doing it. But yeah, I just wanted to go with the background here because I'm going to fill it with the embellishments from the 8x8 pad. But yeah, there's ways of doing it, so you can easily do that. So what we need to do now is, I did this wrong when I was doing mine. So I cut a back, which is just, I'll give you the size, then you know. It's 6 3/4 inches square, and that is what will go on the back there, and it will just hide those the seams at the back, and it will give us a background. Now what I did, I don't know why I did this. I stuck it on and then went, oh, I've not put the paper in. So then I had to cut this paper down to like 5 or 5.5 and put it in. And then there's always the doubt that it's going to be a little bit skew if, or you're going to have a bit of a gap. So what I would suggest you do, because it's 6x6, stick it on there. Even if it's slightly off to that side, it's not going to make any difference to your frame. So I would do that. So what I'm going to do, because it's pearlescent paper, I'm going to put this on just with the little tape runner, because sometimes your glue can kind of go through it and make it a little bit, not warped as such, but sometimes you can see it. So I'm just going to pop that as near to the middle as I can, so that then when we bring the frame onto there, we know that it's definitely covered there, it's definitely full. So what I'm going to do now is I'm going to stick this onto the back of the frame. Now it's up to you whether you use your glue or your tape. I think I'm going to use some red tape, but I'm going to use my thinner one. I'm going to grab a thinner one here.
Because I suppose this is part of your cardstock that's going to hold all your shaker elements in as well, isn't it?
Yes, it is. And we've got some acetate as well, which we're going to use. So what I'm going to do, in fact, I'll put it onto here just to make sure. So let's put red tape on around the edge here, because this is quite strong, obviously. So we'll just do it around the outside of the paper. And each time I do this, I'll probably do it in a different way because I'm thinking, oh, I could have used it that way, or it might have held better with that, or it might have given me a bit more, manoeuvrability with a wet glue. So it's up to you, really, what you use.
We all learn, don't we, as we're crafting along?
Yeah. And I don't know if you're like I'm, Debbie, where you like to use, if you've got lots of different adhesives, you like to use them all.
Yes.
So I go, oh, I've not used tacky glue on this. I'll use some tacky glue, or, oh, I'm just going to use regular double-sided for this. So, yeah, I go through funny little phases like that. But we know that the red tape is going to hold that back on, and that is important because if the back comes off, then the frame can move and it can kind of, just be messy then. So let's do that. And because as well, we've cut this slightly smaller than the frame, it means that when we stick it on there, even if it's not totally straight on there, it will actually not show around the sides when we hold it up. Well, I can see this is not like absolutely perfect, but it's okay. It's fine. There we go. So there's our little frame now. So if I bring in the original now, you'll see what I've done. So the idea was that I put some of these little embellishments in from the topper pad, but I wanted to layer them at different levels. So we had some in the back, we had some in the middle, we had some in the front. So I started off first of all with the little fairy. Now you'll see she's a little bit shaped. So what I did with her is I just did that with a dress, just to bend it round, and then I pulled her wings a little bit forward like that. And then I got some of my glue gel and I put quite a big blob of glue gel just like here, like this. So I did a blob there and a blob there, so that then when I put that on, I could manoeuvre her a little bit. So let's pull that over a bit like that, then you can see what I'm doing, like that. Now obviously with the glue gel, it does take a while to dry. So when I did this one, I left it overnight, just for a few hours actually, so that it dried before I put my shakers in.
Right, yeah.
I will still put the shakers in on this one, but one or two of them might stick to the gel behind, but it's behind the characters, so it shouldn't matter really. So the next thing to do was I wanted a couple of different Christmas trees. So I got this one, which is on the grey background, and I wanted to make the most of this. So what I did was I cut it in half.
And is this one from the book that you
Yes.
pop out embellishments?
So let me bring this in, because I should have brought that in before to show you. So isn't this just the most amazing pad?
Oh, I love it.
It is packed, solid. Honestly, I bet this would last for like 3 Christmases.
Yeah, absolutely.
Because it's got so many, it's got like some sentiments that you can cut yourself with the frames. And then you've got all these lovely toppers. It's just amazing. I opened it up and I was like, where am I going to start with this? Because it's just so beautiful. And there's so much detail in it. And then you get to this section here where you've got these 4 toppers. And then again, they're repeated. So you've got 4 pages of those and then 4 pages of this design. And then you come to all the die cut elements, which are just, I love die cut elements. Aren't they amazing? They're just so delightful. They just really are, and they just pop out really, really easily, yes. So what I've done is I've gone through and I've taken 1 or 2 off each page. And you've got all this lovely foliage as well. I did think about hanging some of the foliage, like from the front of the frame, like, over your corners and things. So if your frame is not brilliant, you can do that. But that's up to you. Once you've done it, you'll see. You go, oh, it's not really that great there on that corner. So what I'll do is I'll add some of those little foliage pieces, and so it's really nice to be able to do that. So again, I've done some glue gel here. Not lots, I've just shaped it a little bit, but that half I'm going to put down there. So I just need to lift the frame up a little bit and just tuck that underneath. So that will just sit there, and then same with this one, but on the other side. So it makes it look like the picture's continuing outside of the frame, but we're just focusing on that bit.
Love that idea.
So that's something that you can do. And of course, if you've got little toppers and things that you might have just snipped a bit off, you know, and you think, well, I don't want to throw it away, but what can I do with it? You might be able to do something like this with it. Right, okay, so we've got those little bits now. So the next thing I wanted to do was to put my next tree on, and I wanted to bring this tree in front of this one, just at this side. So what I have done as well with the original is I've just trimmed. You'll see the bottom is, let me see if I bring that and you'll be able to see. The bottom of it is shaped. Yeah. So I've cut it straight across. And though that grieved me to do it, I thought, well, that's not going to be seen because it's going to be behind the shakers. And again, just shaped it a little bit like that. And then got the glue gel again and put like a blob there and a blob there. And obviously, if you don't push that down, it will dry with that depth. Yeah. If you push it down, then obviously it will it'll flatten it a little bit. So I'm not pushing it too much. I just want it to sit there, and it's a little bit rounded. And you've still got a bit of time to move things with this glue gel because it's really good for that. Right, so I pulled so many bits out of the pad and I was like, which bits am I going to have on here? So let's get our little nutcrackers. So the first one I wanted was this one. Now I wanted him to be at the front and I thought, how on earth am I going to get him at the front of there? Well, there's this extra bit here that's not really doing anything, just on this end. So I folded that like that. And then I've added tacky glue to that bit. So that means then I can bring him to the front of the frame and that will hold him, and then put some glue gel behind him. So, and I'm just yes, that's exactly what I did. And he's straight at the bottom here, so that's okay. And then what I did was I put some glue gel on this bit, like that, but I let it hang a little bit lower than the actual bit, so that when I stick him on, he'll sit in that glue gel. So let's bring him like quite near to the front here, like this.
That's very clever.
So the tacky glue will hold him there at the bottom, and then the glue gel will dry. The tacky glue will be drying in a matter of minutes, but the glue gel will take a bit longer. So that's how we've got him put there. Then this lovely soldier here, nutcracker, he is going at the back, but he can go on with tacky glue because he's going to be flat. So we're doing flat, and then because he's flat and because we've got a little bit of a gap under here, I've slid him underneath, so he's just like peeping out behind that tree. And obviously we've still got a little bit of flexibility on that there. Yeah, I keep going off the mat, don't I? I do it. They kept telling me at Hobby Maker the other day, Sheila, just go to the left. I was going that way, and I was like, I'm rubbish at this. I need to have like a something here that stops me going, like a stabilizers. That's it. Yeah, or an alarm, or one of those things that gives you an electric shock if you pass that line. I must remember, be between A6 and A2. Oh gosh, honestly. Electric fence, yeah, thanks for that. Yeah, if I keep doing this, yeah, I'll have strayed too far. Right, so what we're going to do now is we've got our other nutcracker here. So I've gone with like a bit of a variation on the nutcrackers. So again, let's get some glue gel on him. Do you know what? Johnny is just saying about how much you could put in the frame here, and you could literally, you could absolutely pack it full. But what I wanted to do was try and create just some different dimensions, which I don't think you can get with the foam pads. You can get some dimension, but you can't get lots of layers, because then you start seeing the pads when you look down it, where with the glue gel it dries clear and you don't see it, so that makes it a little bit nicer, doesn't it?
Gives it a better illusion.
Yeah, I think it does, definitely. So on the original one here now, you'll see I've got some presents, and there's a big stack of pink presents in the pad, which is this one, and I wanted to put these in, but then because I'm going to put the mouse here, I just felt they were the wrong scale, even though you can have great big presents. So then I went through the pad and I thought, oh, let's have that. So we've got the nutcracker here with some presents. So what I'm going to do is just snip around that. So we're going to snip the presents up there like that, and keeping that little grey bit on there. And then, again, we can round those and we can stick those in the background. So they can go just here. So they can go a little bit further back, but they're still in front of that nutcracker there. And again, a couple of big blobs of the glue on there. And what I should have said is just snip off the bottom there so that it sits flat. Because you know what will happen? The glue will dry and then you'll end up with, like the presents will be leaning that way, and that's not great. Okay, and then we've got our little mouse here. So we had to put the Mouse King on, didn't we? It's so
Absolutely.
cute. It's so cute. And again, with this one now, what I've had to do is just snip his foot so that it'll sit straight. And obviously we've got like snow going in there. We've got the shakers going in, so you don't notice that. So and he won't squeal when I take off his foot. See, he didn't feel anything there. So oh, damn it. Yeah. Yeah.
It's like when you have like those Freddo chocolate bars. When my kids were little, they used to have the Freddo, and we used to make noises like, "So don't eat the head first.
You can't eat the head.
Really make a bad noise."
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, don't eat the head first. So with this one, again, I've done the same as I did with the nutcracker. I've put quite a blob of the glue gel here, and I've pushed it down a little bit. So when that dries, it'll be holding him in there, and then we will pop that little mouse there, like that.
I did wonder when I see your finished one how you got them to sort of almost stand proud. It's very clever what you're doing with these.
Yeah, it will. I mean, obviously, with this one, because he has got the least kind of bits that can hold him, unlike this one. You see, he wants to keep falling back. So the other thing we could do, let me just readdress that. Maybe a little bit. Maybe we can do. I've cut
that's what it is. You've cut his foot off.
It's because I've cut his foot off. He's lost his balance. Yeah. What we can do again, we can fold a little bit like that. Let's just do that for now. It's only a tiny bit, and stick it at the edge, because that will then bond him to that side there, and then that will hold him. So when we come back to it in a minute to put the shakers in, it will be fine. So we'll just give that a minute. So I'll let that, I'm going to stand it up and just let it bond just here for a second, because I just explained about these little pieces that you need for your frame. Doesn't want to stand up there. Let's pop that against it. There we go. And that like that. Okay, so if I bring this back in now, what we need to do as well, I've taken one of the little sentiments from the 8x8 pad. Now, I'm not good at cutting round corners, not corners, but like bendy corners, rounded corners. So what I've done is I've snipped straight up there like that, and then I've stripped along there as well. If you've got a little corner rounder or a corner punch, you could use that. But if you've got like the big scissors, you can just do it like that. Now then, what you can do as well, I've just used, you might already have this, and I forgot to put it on the list, you might have a little piece of the linen cardstock that comes with this collection. So I've just used a little piece of the green, mainly because there's lots of green in here. And I'm going to stick that on and then trim around that. You can do it on your guillotine, your trimmer, however you want, with your knife and your ruler. But I'm just going to do it with my scissors. And I've done this a little bit differently, because the original one, I tried cutting around the bendy corners, I'm being honest with you now, and I made a bit of a mess of it. So what I then did was I went up this pink line, and then you'll be able to see it there, and then I did a snip across the corners, so the corners are quite angled. But I've just done it slightly differently here, and we've managed to keep those little edges on those rounded corners.
And I love that, Sheila, because you're making it easier for yourself, aren't you, by doing it that way?
Yes, definitely. And you know, we might have people that are beginning and don't have all the lovely stuff that we have. You know, we might also have you know, people with dexterity problems that can't do little fiddly bits. You know, so again, if you're making this, don't feel bad if you're having to do it with foam pads or foam tape. It will still work. It will still work, but you will see the pads. So you just need to bear that in mind. So we can pop our little sentiment in there now. Right, so the next thing you need to do, once you've done all this and you're happy with what's in there, you might want to put more in. You need to cut a piece of acetate. So I've cut a piece of acetate, and this measures 5.5 by 5.5. And again, I've gone around the edge with thin red tape. So that will go on there now. When you've put your shakers in. Now I am going to put some shakers in. I'm not bothered about the fact that the glue has still not dried. I think the worst thing that will happen is it'll stick to the glue. But what I will do, I'll put the shakers in the middle.
Be extra sparkly then, wouldn't it? Anyway?
Yeah. To be honest, does it really matter, Debbie? If it sticks to the, even if it sticks to the 3D glue gel, that's behind everything. So you might just find you've got little sequin poking out here or there.
Yeah.
It's not a major thing. But if I was you and you're wanting to do it so it's right, just let it dry for a few hours. You know, if you're doing it in the morning, come back in the evening, have a look and see if it's dry. It doesn't take that long, but we normally say allow 24 hours, you know, or an overnight drying time. And then this one can now go onto here, like that. Okay, so that's all encased now in there. So whatever goes on in there now goes on. Regarding the shaker bits,
in the box
anyway,
stays
in the box, and it absolutely does on this occasion. So what I've done now is I've got two pieces of, sorry, what I've done, I've got 4 pieces, not 2. I've got 4 strips. Now, these measure 3/4 of an inch by just under 7, if my memory serves me right. Yeah, about 2 millimetres under 7. And the reason for that is because when we put them on, we want to have a little white gap. And I'm going to show you quickly how to create the triangle bits to make the angles right. So what we need to do, get 2 of your pieces. Now I'm just going to use, I think I'm going to use that one. Oh, I need to use this one down the side because this has got a treble clef on. I need that treble clef to be the right way up. So we're going to put 2 like that. I think we'll have that one as well because that one kind of matches, and we'll put that at the bottom, that little bit there. So they're going to go onto there, and you can put those on there with either tape glue or your tape run if you want to. That will then seal that acetate as well. It will then hold the acetate in place. So let's put this one on here. So your 2 long strips can go down the edge here. So I'm just going to turn this so I can see both ends. I can then see where it kind of sits on there because I want it to have a little bit of an edge around there. And then this one, we can do the same. And then, do you know, I can't get on with this one quite so well as I do with the dotty one. I've got it now. Oh, I've got it there. I think I was holding it a bit too tilted. Right, so this one is going to go on at this end here. And then, so again, we've got a little bit of a white edge showing. And then we need to do the corners. So the easiest way I found to do this is to put your paper, we'll have the roses at the bottom, I think, and we'll have those at the top. No, should we have the roses at the top? No, we'll have the roses at the bottom. Let's leave them at the bottom. And we'll have this one at the top here. So what we need to do now is we need to do some little markings with your pencil. So if you put your paper up to the end here on both edges, and then you know that we're going to cut from the corner, so do a little mark there where these 2 points meet, and the same at that end, like that. And then take your scissors and go from the corner and aim your scissors. If you're using big scissors, it's easy because you can see that that's going to go like that. And always look at what the bit you're going to, not where you're coming from, because that will give you a better cut. And then when we put that on there now, you can see that we've got our neat little meets here. It's nice and tidy where it meets up. So we'll do that one.
That's such a good technique and just really easy to do once you know how.
Yeah, it is actually. It's so much easier than trying to do, you know, like you were saying, Debbie.
Yes.
You're not great at maths. I'm not. I can't do geometry.
Yeah.
So I'm like, what do you mean? I'm that hopeless with maths. So, I mean, I do know what 90 degrees is, but obviously sometimes it can be a little bit
yeah, exactly, and it's
overwhelming.
simplifying it for yourself, isn't it?
Yeah, definitely.
That looks so clever.
So you can see now, it looks like we've done quite a professional job on there when really we haven't. So what we need to do now, same with this. So we'll just line those edges up together like that, a tiny little pencil mark. And again, if you're using a pencil, you can rub it off after if you've got a tiny mark. My little spots on here are minuscule. And you might find that as you do your cut, you cut those bits off anyway, so you don't see them. If you want to do it on your cutter, you can, or your guillotine, your trimmer, whatever you want to, whatever's best for you. With your knife, that's fine as well. But then what we'll do is we'll put this on, and then if you find when you lift it up that your corners are not quite square or not quite neat or have not met up properly, get yourself some ribbon. And I know that we've got that beautiful iridescent ribbon in the Christmas Dream collection. So you could even put it around there and tie it in a bow at the top. I was going to put a bow on and then I tried it and I thought, no, I'm just going to leave it as it is. You might want to put this on the front of a card. So now if we tip this up, this is the one we've just done, we'll get those sparkles down there. And I didn't use my anti-static bag on this, but you know what, if you bang it like that, they do seem to fall down. And they haven't really, I don't think they've actually stuck onto the gel, to be honest. So, but obviously, that's our first one. That's the original one. There's a slight variation in them, but you've got all those toppers and little die cut elements in your pad that you can totally change it. You can have do it like a ballerina, like a theatre with all the ballet dancers in there. There's loads and loads. The only other thing left to do now, which is what I've done with these, is to take your little glitter glue from the same collection. And because your paper is pearlescent and it's got these berries going right through, you can add a little bit of the glitter glue on your berries, and it's very subtle. And then on the rose, I'm just going to do a little bit like that, so it just kind of has a bit on there. And then the same on these berries, like that. And it'll just give them a little bit of sparkle, which I feel like goes really well with the sparkles inside and also with the sparkles on the paper because it's pearlescent. And again, you can add more if you want to, but I'm just going to do those. And there we have 2 little boxes.
Oh, I love that. They are absolutely beautiful.
But they're quite cute, aren't they?
They're so lovely.
Not used a lot there. We've not used a lot. I mean, the most we've used, I think, is A4 sheets of paper. And I think with those, you can get at least, you can get 2 of your panels that we did for each section. You can get 2 from one A4 sheet. So, obviously, just a couple of A4 sheets. But do them. Once you know how to do that, you can do a frame for Halloween, for Christmas, for birthday, calendars, whatever you want to.
I love that. So nice. And actually, as Stephanie is saying, this is a great idea to know for making the frames, but she has the CC frame dies. So yes, I forgot about those. We do our own frame dies that we've done previously.
Oh, yes, of course.
But great when people don't know how to or they haven't got those ones. It's a really great way to do the frames. Rosalie's saying that she's going to be trying this later. Stephanie is saying, Sheila, you make it look very easy. It's easy when you've got the good stuff to use, isn't it?
Yes, and you know what I'll do, because I've written all the measurements down and I've written how many of each you need. So what I'll do, I'll take a picture of this in the breaks, and I'll put it on my Crafters Companion page, and it might give you an idea. I've done that with a couple of templates before, and it might just, give you the measurements so you at least know for this size of a project. It might help.
I so appreciate that. And Evelyn has actually said it would be great to get the measurements for the project.
Yes, I'll do
so
that.
There you go, Evelyn. Look on Sheila's page and she will post them for you. Jessica's saying, yes, thank you for showing that you can use 12 by 12 papers. Janine is saying that she loves this paper collection. It's beautiful, isn't it? It is stunning. So pretty. It's stunning. It is lovely. Mary Pat is saying, I fell instantly in love with this collection. Yes, as I did as well. It is my absolute absolute favourite. Janine is saying that she loves Sheila's little tricks. Yes, and I think she meant that was said when you did the little mouse and stuck them to the side. Like I would have never thought of doing that as well, Sheila. That's absolutely brilliant. Stephanie is saying this would make a lovely thing to do with the nativity collection. I think, and it's what you were just saying, whatever collection you've got, once you've got the tools to create this project, you can use any collection in this, couldn't you?
Of course you can, absolutely, yeah. And you know, there's nothing stopping you doing 2 of these with different sets in and actually putting them together so that they like hinge. You know, so you could be doing like a little storybook, or you could be doing 3 or 4 of them with a whole like nativity in, or a Christmas train, and so you could do 4 or 5, so it goes on the fireplace, or you could do,
I love that.
you know. There's a lot you can do with it once you know how to do the box. It's
home
fine.
decor. I love that idea. Ultra is saying, do we wait to cover the sides with a paper tool last? Yes, so we've covered that because you put the acetate on and then you cover the edges. Diane is saying this would look pretty on a shelf, just as Sheila was saying. Stephanie's saying, Sheila, happy belated birthday wishes to you.
Thank you.
Ash is saying, so many comments. This is such a beautiful project. Tara is saying, this is my favourite colourway. I also loved a Christmas rose. So yes, I'm with you there, Tara. I absolutely loved it. And Mary Pat is saying, that's me, a person with dexterity issues, always needing to be extra creative and how to achieve the techniques. Lisa is saying, what a great deal. The wheels are turning now for my own ideas. Eleanor is saying, that's so pretty. Stephanie is saying, there are so many. I'm going to have to make this project for Halloween. Yes, perfect for that. Honestly, there is so many coming in. Cynthia's saying, absolutely beautiful frame. Thank you so much, Sheila. And Pat is saying, loving this project. Thank you, Sheila. The inspiration and posting the information on the website. We already saved the show too. And Jessica is saying, where can I find Sheila's page? Go onto Facebook and you'll find her under Sheila Halliwell CC. So you will find it there. We're going to pop it in here so you can see it. There you go. So go to this link here and find Sheila on Facebook. So we are going to pop the shopping list back up. I'm going to ask you to read this out, Sheila, only because I can't see it from here.
Oh, okay, I'm struggling a bit, but if you've got the collection or if you've not got the collection, treat yourself to it because it's absolutely stunning. So it's the Christmas Dream collection, and what you'll need is the 12x12 paper pad, the 6x6 paper pad, and the 8x8 topper pads. You will need the iridescent chunky glitter and the glitter glue, and they're all from that. And then your additional items, you will need probably 3 sheets of A4 white cardstock, because you can get 2 of the panels out of 1 and you need 4 of those, and then we've used a piece for the back as well. So for 3 sheets you'll need some acetate, your guillotine, your ScoreBoard, your general tools with your scissors, Pkey Tool, red tape, 3mm tape for that acetate, and maybe 12mm for the box panels, 3D glue gel, some tacky glue, and your tape pen. And as well, don't forget, this is ideal for if you want to put Christmas lights in, because you've got your little gaps here, because these stay sealed unless you want to put something around them. But you could be putting your wires, feeding your wires through there, and then bring your wire out at the back and put your battery pack on the back. So, you know, if you've got some little lights, try doing that as well.
Amazing. Thank you so much, Sheila. Absolutely lovely hour and crafting along. That's probably the most comments I've seen in a long time on a craft along. So people are absolutely loving that, and I know we'll be replicating that. Now, if you do want to join us back in a couple of hours at 5 o'clock till 7, we have got an amazing launch party. We're bringing back some of those really good collections like a bookworm. We've also got your flora and fauna. We've also got an out of this world deal, which you're not going to want to miss because it's absolutely incredible. Now, remember, we've got all individual items on the US website, just while we're sorting out the US stock, and it's all going across to those new warehouses for us. So make sure that you go onto the website and shop all those extra goodies, because they are now tariff-free without you having to worry. I know. So absolutely amazing that we're doing that. So, but yeah, enjoy the website. Make sure you save the show. That's really important. And do come back in 2 hours' time, because we've got a fabulous launch party, which you're not going to want to miss. See you then. Bye.